Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm coming at you guys with a procreate process video. Now, this is an image I call kamehameha. Um, I did this a while ago, but I've been sitting on a lot of these kind of like procreate process video files, and just I wanted to kind of add some narration to them. Now, I would use iMovie, but I dropped my iPad like a year ago, and I can't stand to not have the iPad and not have Procreate. So I just haven't got it repaired. I'm probably going to end up getting it repaired at some point. I'm hoping they can do it in one day. I'm hoping they can do it in a few hours, kind of thing. I'm hoping I can drop it off in the morning and go get it in the afternoon type thing. But obviously with the COVID situation and such, there's no point doing it now. So I probably should have done it a year ago. So anyway, starting out this image, I did a very rough sketch. Then I did a very basic line art. And I feel like nowadays my line arts need to be more like this, less complete solid lines and more kind of not rough lines, but lines that aren't as thick and solid. Lines that I can, when I paint up the image, it can still kind of show through. Now these lines don't remain because when I started this image, I was kind of inspired by a guy called the Color Reaper. On Instagram, his page is just called the Color Reaper. His work's pretty good. And what he does is these kind of cool fan arts where he uses line art primarily, kind of line arts like this. And that's what I was inspired by, as I've said already. But it quickly evolved into like a whole painting. I started blending some of the like shading I was doing and stuff. And then it was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to make this into a painting now. And that's where it ends up. You'll probably see that in the thumbnail image when I finally post this. But it just evolved into something more just because of how, the influences that I had at the time, and the kind of excitement I had about just creating art in Procreate. So obviously I've been creating digital art for years, since 2008, but really since about 2009 properly, right? And during those 2 years I wasn't what you'd call good, I was learning, right? But since about 2013 I'd say I've been, reasonably good in terms of overall kind of digital art skill and my ability to create pieces. Even from my imagination, I could create realistic images, right? But utilizing Procreate for me was a bit of a hurdle because it was just a different piece of software to Photoshop. And I struggled in the original state, or in the initial stages, to get like that realism. But it wasn't that I struggled to get the realism directly. It was I was struggling to find the right brushes that felt good to paint that way. Luckily now I've kind of solved that issue. I have one main brush I use, but this time lapse is so old that brush, I didn't even have that brush in mind when I did this. I think I was just using brushes that I made, like little customs that I made to kind of make this work. But let's talk about the piece. So obviously now you see the line art's kind of been drawn away, and we're just in this stage where we're getting kind of like paint, and we're getting all these light effects and such, and we've added color, and we've kind of got rid of Goku's eyes. Goku's eyes are closed. Now that was a decision I made just because I felt like the eyes were too cartoony. I remember when I posted this on Instagram, I got a comment like, oh, he's Asian, so let's close his eyes. And I thought, that's so funny. It wasn't that. There'd been a few superhero drawings I'd done of my own characters that were black characters, and I had their eyes closed. It was just a technique I used to see Ed McGuinness do, and I used to like it, so I just kind of stole it. And that's what I do with any artist's technique that I like. I just take it and I kind of try and make it my own, and that ended up being what it is for this piece. And you know what? I don't really like this piece. The colors come across flat and stuff, but looking back at it now, I like it more than I did then. I do think the quality is okay, so I'm not a hater. I just don't think it's a great piece overall, but it was an attempt at something. It was an attempt at that kind of like CG looking, kind of like almost realistic but not realistic, kind of like anime kind of slash realism. Maybe it's a 3D render. Obviously it's not that good, but maybe it's kind of like rendered in 3D and it's not just kind of like a line drawing, and that's kind of what I was trying to go for. I wasn't really trying to go for like a painterly kind of like nice kind of like definitely anime but more painterly style. I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to do something that was semi-realistic, but as these time lapses go on, I think you'll see more what I've been trying to get at, and overall it's been fun. But anyway, guys, I've been Fiji. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep drawing, keep painting. See you guys later.